I just had a conversation with someone, and I feel like my mind, like something inside of me has changed, and it's really difficult to process it. It's really difficult to explain it for me. So I will try to making it make sense by talking to a camera, if that makes sense. But I'm really conflicted about it. I feel like I'm kind of relieved and happy at the same way, but also a little bit sad. So it's a lot of emotions. And first of all, I'm really happy to feel all of this because I remember until kind of recently, like 1 year ago, I would say it's recently, I was sort of complaining that my life was great, well, everything was going accordingly to the plan. Like I had a good job, good circle around me, good friends. Like I had a nice life. Nothing really fancy, nothing really dramatic, like just mid, but mid meaning okay, if that makes sense. I was having fun, I was enjoying life, but not a lot of emotions, if that makes sense. And then something happened and I started to feel quite a lot. And I feel like today it's been almost exactly a year since I started to feel so many things. And it's really poetic that 1 year later, the thing is coming to an end. I think, kind of, I'm not sure. This is why I don't know, it doesn't make any sense, but I'm talking about a crush. Like, I really liked someone, I met someone a year ago, and I felt a lot of things that I never felt. And at the beginning, I thought it was just, when people say a crush, it's, oh, I like someone, and I'm gonna spend the next few weeks or month thinking about this person, then I'll get over it because I'll find someone new. And that's how life goes. You put your attention in one person or in something, then eventually it switches to another thing. Oh my god, I'm getting a, how is it called when there's a lot of blood in your feet and it's painful? I'll probably cut that off. Or probably not because I don't edit these things. But yeah, so I met this special someone and it's been a little bit of a roller coaster of emotions. This is why I feel really weird because after feeling so much, it's a relief to not feel so much in the future. At least that's how I think it's gonna develop. But it's also a bit sad because it was kind of enjoyable to feel all these feelings. But yeah, I guess I need to be a really bit concrete because I can say the same things over and over. So yeah, I like someone a year ago. I thought these feelings were gonna vanish little by little, but they didn't. They were increasing quite a lot. And we had, or I had, I'm gonna talk about me, I had my ups and downs regarding this person, but overall, I was really liking him. I was about to say his name, but no. And he's not my friend, it's me, let's be honest. On the past videos, I was talking about my friend, it's me. Nobody surprised, but I want to be honest with myself. No friend. I mean, I have some friends, but this situation is about me. So, yeah, this was happening, this was continuing, but today I had a 1 hour conversation with this person that I had slash still have a crush on. I still don't know. And it was really eye-opening. First, because it was the first time or one of the first times that we were openly discussing about how we feel. Not how we feel about each other. I didn't tell him I like him. He didn't tell me how he feels about me in this regard. But he was explaining me how his brain works in some scenarios, let's say, without being too specific. And I was also explaining to him how I decide to take action in some aspects in my life. So basically, we are really different people, which is fine. But I really appreciate his honesty, but I didn't really quite enjoy some of the things that he was so honest about. Let me elaborate. I love when people are really true to themselves, they are unapologetic, and they are not afraid to be themselves. I like when people can communicate this to me because sometimes I feel like I'm a really sensitive person. I discovered this recently. I didn't think I was, but apparently I am. So it's really difficult for me to understand how some people are so rational and so logical, but some people are like that, and it's completely fine, and there's nothing wrong. It doesn't mean that they are robots, that they don't feel. It means that they don't feel as much because they decide to go on their life being more logical about it. And again, they feel pain, they feel happiness, they feel a lot of things, but maybe it's not as extreme as other people, which is good for some cases and maybe not so good for others. I don't know. But yeah, regardless of my opinion about this, we're just different people. And some of the things that he was explaining to me, I don't agree, which again is completely fine. I have friends, and that's the magic, that's a good thing about having different people as friends. You don't have to agree on absolutely everything because then you can learn. And I guess this is why it makes sense to meet different people and to have to have friends from different walks of lives, because then you can learn, you can unlearn, and I don't know, you create your own identity and all this thing. So we are really different in some aspects, but we are also quite similar in others. And yeah, I feel like having this honest conversation is helping me move on from this crash situation, which is crazy to say out loud because I feel like just last week I had these really intense feelings. I feel like it was coming. I don't know if it's because now it's gonna be a year since I met this person, and I cannot be like this forever. Like there has to be an end point. And I'm really into like birthdays, I guess, when something happens and then it becomes a year later. I'm like, oh, last year I was in that point of my life. Or let's celebrate that I moved to the country 3 years ago, for example, which nobody cares, let's be honest, but I care. So if I want to celebrate something, I will. So maybe now that it's about to be 1 year since this crash started, in my mind, we were subconsciously trying to work it out. Like, okay, how is this crash situation moving forward? And I feel like it's moving forward in a good way, like having some closure. So this crash, hopefully, is gonna be just a friend, because for the other person, we are just friends. So for the other person, it shouldn't have any change, any impact. For me, the change is gonna be quite drastic. And I feel like in order to do this, I will need to put some distance, and I will need to confess. This is a question mark, and I'm not sure, but I'm really open. I have to say everything in my mind. And if now I'm really sure that this crash is over, or it's not over immediately, but it's starting to vanish, if this is happening, eventually I will have to let this person know how I felt or how I'm feeling, if I still like him at that point, because then I will really put the final dot, like the period not the period, the closure that I need for this crash, for this era, let's say. And it's a bit sad, I'm not gonna lie, because I don't know when I'm gonna feel all these feelings in the future. And it sucks to say, and I'm getting emotional just saying it out loud, but I feel like it's one thing that I have to get over. And it's gonna be sad, it's gonna suck, to be completely honest, but it can be exciting because I feel like now for a year or almost a year, I put a lot of effort, a lot of energy into this person, and it was not mutual. Maybe it was mutual in some part because we have a really good friendship and we really value our friendship. At least this is what I got from this conversation. but the romantic feelings are not there from his side, and I need to be really real about it. And even if it hurts, which it does, I need to be honest with myself and I need to get over it eventually. And I don't want to just meet another person to forget him. I feel like now it's time to just work on myself, and it sucks to say it because it's really easy to put a quick fix, to put a band-aid, like let's meet someone else or let's do something crazy, let's travel, let's do something unexpected with my friends or on my own, just to forget, just to not let me process all these feelings. But I feel like it's time to do the complete opposite. It's time to slow down a little bit. So for this whole year, it's been quite intense, and now it's time to come to terms with the fact that this is not gonna happen. This person is still gonna be there. Just I need to see him in a different light, and that's completely fine. Like, of course, being delusional and being so emotional is not what I want to happen, but life doesn't go your way all the time. And it sucks to say because I remember my mom when I tell her that, oh, I was trying to do this, but it didn't work out. She always used to say, or maybe she said it once and it's really stuck in my brain. But she said that, yeah, when things don't go your way, it's really annoying because you almost almost all the time, you get it your way. Like if you want something, you will get it. And I feel like this is one of those situations when I didn't get what I wanted, and it sounds really childish, but still, it fucking hurts, and it's okay. We just need to process it. We just need to feel all these feelings the same way that I was feeling all these good feelings, having this crash and all these butterflies, all this happiness. Right now it's gonna be a little bit the opposite. I need to feel all these things. It's not gonna be nice, but I need to process it, and I want to process it well. And I guess this goes together with all this series that I was doing, dating more intentionally on your 30s, and dating one person at a time, focusing on this one person that I'm meeting. I feel like if we're doing things more maturely in general, this needs to be also like that. We need to process all of this and doing it in a really mature way, in a really not professional way. I don't know how to put it, but yeah, just not putting a band-aid on it. Let's not meet one other people so we forget this crash for a little bit. Let's process all of this. And I feel like the best way to do it is to focus on myself, because I've done this in the past, just when I needed to realign, to center myself. I didn't have the dating apps. I focused a lot on doing better, like what are my passion projects, like going to the gym, I don't know, diet and all this quote unquote boring stuff, but it really helps to focus on yourself, to, like I was saying, realign and focus on the important things. So I feel like it's time to do that again right now, and it needs to start soon. So yeah, I feel like no, I keep saying I feel like when I don't feel like it's just a fact. But next week it's gonna be exactly 1 month. 1 month, no, oh my god, 1 year since this crash started, and it needs to finish as well. Maybe not next week. I don't want to be that dramatic. I'm really dramatic, but I don't want to be that dramatic. But let's say by the end of March, I need to come to terms to the fact that this is not a crush anymore. Now it's just a friend. And the best way to do it again will be to focus on myself, will be to let this person know how I feel or how I felt, just to put some closure. For me, it's really important to put closure to stuff. And until the moment that I tell him how I feel or how I felt, I feel like this closure will not be final. So I really have to do it. And if now we are friends, it should be okay. And if he's not okay with that, then he was not a good friend. I don't know. But yeah, it's a bit scary. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna suck. But I feel like it's the right way. I feel like it's the right move. And I guess that's it for now. I don't want to make it too long. I feel like this really helps organizing my thoughts, clearing my head. And again, if I'm helping just one person because someone is having a crash, because someone is going through it with this love life, I'm happy to be oversharing and to post my life online. But yeah, I guess let's leave it I like at that. And subscribe and all these things feels weird to say it right now, but do if you want to, don't if you don't want to. And see you soon. Maybe I'll keep talking about dating. Maybe not. Maybe I focus on more like self development. Maybe I just stop posting. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. But I feel like I kind of like the YouTube oversharing. But yeah, that's it. It's quite late. I will try to go to bed. Probably it's not gonna happen immediately because I have a lot on my mind, but this helped. So if you got to the end, thank you. And yeah, that's it. See you soon.